EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the U.S. Open Championship. It is known as one of the toughest golf courses in the world. And today we're here in western Pennsylvania at Oakmont Country Club. Originally opened 1903 and designed by Henry Fones, it features over 200 bunkers and slick, undulating greens. It asks a lot of a player in every aspect of the game. It is a fitting venue for the U.S. Open Championship, the final round. All set to go. We take you to the first hole. Frank, this is where you want to be, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the challenge. This is the beauty of the game. Take your best golf against the rest. See who comes out on top.
Starting this final round with the lead. Officials are calling that one around 310 yards. Now the approach here at the par 4 first. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Just ideal. Good speed on that putt and just a tap in remaining. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. That's a poor putt to start.
Wicked, to say the least.
So a tester from 4 feet. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
He's putting for birdie now. So a bogey on the first, but a good bounce back here. Frank, this hole, the third at 428 yards, has been a part of the U.S. Open story for a long time, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's just a great par 4. It's a typical U.S. Open par 4 that challenges in between the ears, as well as the swing and the execution itself. The second shot, slightly uphill. You've really got to break this green into two sections. That ridge in the middle, anything past that, everything funnels off and towards the back of this green. Anything short of that, well, it actually goes towards the front side. So very difficult from tee all the way through to the green. This looks like it's going to find the target.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. Now to the par 5 fourth. It is 609 yards. Frank, this has been pivotal in past U.S. Opens.
Yeah, it certainly has. A good drive here, there's a chance to go for the par 5 and 2. A bad drive here, finding the church pews or the bunkers on the right. More often than not, you're pitching out sideways. Totally different proposition.
And that's where you want to be at the fourth, in the fairway. Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good looking birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his middle.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. It's a nice little hole, Frank. 382 yards, par 4, 5th here at Oakmont.
You can't really hit a driver or a 3-wood down here. You're going to run out of fairway. Plus, there's no real advantage. Hole starts to shrink up here. Just got to play it as a 2-shotter. But it's easy just to blaze away with an iron. If you can hit an iron at a U.S. Open off a par 4 tee, you better hit it in the fairway. Where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
This is a good-looking shot. Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
In for par. Frank, you played the U.S. Open and nearly won it back in 1994 at Oakmont, so you remember this par 3-6, the 194 yards, it's changed a bit since then. How?
It has. They've actually made the green a little bit bigger, and how they managed to do that, they took away a bunker that used to be behind the green, a little on the left side. It's not really made the hole any easier, but it still suits like a little bit of a cut. And there's something that starts on those left bunkers and works its way back towards the middle of the green. The reason why that's a better shot is because the slope of the green goes in the opposite direction. So it's one way to keep the ball straighter.
Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable from that distance.
U.S. Open continuing here at the par 4 7th at Oakmont. It's 434 yards. Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Frank, what's the player looking at here with the approach shot at the par 4 7th?
The second part of the second shot just goes a little bit downhill, and once again you see that little ski slope look just short of that green. It means you really have to pitch the ball on the front third of the green. Anything further than that, you risk the ball running left into those bunkers.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So just a formality here. Bang! Has it. U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, you've played in so many of them, are supposed to be demanding and tough. This is what a U.S. Open's all about. A par 3 at nearly 300 yards. That's the 8th at Oakmont.
It's not just the length, too, but this is a typical Oakmont green, which means it's not easy. There is an option, though, if you can't reach this green, or at least fly it on, you might get a lucky bounce to kick forward. You'll see a lot of people chipping from around the front edge of this green, and there's no shame in that.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. This is a cross-country special. That was not a very good read right there. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. In for par. And now to the 9th, and in case a player has forgotten somehow that he's at a U.S. Open, the 9th will remind him very quickly that this is the national championship. This is demanding. Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Headed for the bunker? Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the green side bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Frank looks like maybe the greatest bunker player of all time right there.
Well, he's making a name for himself today. You could certainly put him up there with Gary Players, Severiano Ballesteros. That was just a great bunker shot.
Good putt. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Not in the fairway, but not too bad, just in that first cut. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
That shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close, that's good. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That is a solid par putt right there. Par 4 11th is 379 yards as we continue the backside here at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Frank, what's the strategy off the tee here?
You're hitting something that goes about 240, 250 yards maximum, hopefully keeping it out of that right rough. And the reason why that right rough is certainly to be avoided is that big gaping bunker at the front of the screen. Green's perched up a little bit, so this is another one where if you can hit an iron or a utility club off the tee, you must find the fairway.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is classy.
No chance of going in.
Settles in over the putt. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. Well, Frank, the par 5 12th here at Oakmont, it's a lot of golf hole at 667 yards.
It's the hardest par 5 I've ever seen or played that doesn't have water. It starts with that tee shot. The whole fairway slopes left to right. Just to get the ball on the fairway, you've got to draw the ball against the slope. The same problem exists with the second and the third shot.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
And setting up here in the rough. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Clean this up with a tap. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Pushing our way into this back nine, we arrive at the par 3 13th. It's 183 yards.
This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brittle out there.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Right in the heart. Well, the reason Oakmont has hosted so many U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, is it has a really good blend of holes, and now we come to a short par for it, 358 yards, the 14th.
You can see the predicament in front of you, bunkers left and right, but really the bonus here is if you can get the ball on the fairway with just something like a long on off the tee, this is one of your best scoring opportunities at Oakmont.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Oh, man, just slides by, and only a tap in left. Good putt. Did the job right there. Well, this is a good U.S. Open par for it. 499 yards. The 15th is one of the better holes in the course, Frank.
It is. The shape of the tee shot you think would suit a cut, but because the fairway slopes quite severely to the right, really it needs a draw just to work its way against that slope and somehow keep it on the straight and narrow.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. You feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Getting set now over the putt.
In this situation, Rich, a bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Frank, this is a point in the round where you really need to summon your best stuff. Par 3 of 231 yards. You know the pressure's building. We're at the 16th hole, and you have a long iron in hand. You can't flinch. You can't take it halfway back and go. This has to be the complete swing, and you have to really have the nerve on this shot.
Yeah, this shot has to be hitting right out of the button, that's for sure. One thing to consider, though, in the back of your mind, it's always better putting back uphill. Well, uphill is actually from the back of the screen. So you actually can be a little braver on 16 than what you might think standing on that tee, because a little long is better than a little short.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. This for birdie.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Good effort and good par putt. 17th hole at Oakmont, par 4, only 313 yards, and yet, Frank, it was so pivotal. The last U.S. Open played here in 2007.
It was pivotal for a lot of different reasons, strategy being one. Some elected to go down the right side with just a mid-iron. Others went directly at the green, did not get the ball up and down. Furyk and Tiger Woods come to mind in that situation. You can see the green's just perched up there. If you do lay it up, you don't quite get a full look at this green because you have to lay it up down that right side.
Good swing, good shot yet again. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. This will be a 14-foot putt here.
Give me a break, Rich. Your mum could make that.
Ooh, that's a disappointment, Frank. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Beautiful roll on that one, right in the bottom. Frank, you know this as well as anyone, having competed in and contended in U.S. Open championships. An 18th hole at a U.S. Open is supposed to be tough. A par is supposed to be hard won. This has all the elements of a great finishing hole, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if you could use the word fair, but you would say it's a just finishing hole. It's right, because it extracts the best you'd ever want to see out of a champion. Someone that can basically stand on that tee, gather their thoughts together, thump something down the fairway, then come up with a second shot that's nearly as challenging as the tee shot, and then somehow two-putt. You do all that with the lead, you deserve to pick up the U.S. Open trophy.
and it makes the green in regulation. It has come down to this, to win the U.S. Open. You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants to do over there.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Putt. Frankie's done it. One of the biggest prizes in the game.
The U.S. Open has always been considered golf's toughest test. There's golf's toughest champion.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the mid-season classic. Excellent looking shot here. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Third shot, looking for a good one.
Should be safely on deck.
Try to scramble here. He's giving himself a chance for par. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Moves into the top 20 after the par. Now at the second here at Lighthouse Point, Frank, this is some tough par 3.
If you want to try and really break the hole down and be a purist here, Rich, you'd like to hit a little cut into this green, something that moves away from the water and the cliff back towards that bunker. That would be the perfect shot to hit, but such a difficult par 3. Anything on the green would be good here. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. And so just getting started, even par so far. Now the third hole here at Lighthouse Point, par 5, 566 yards. Well, at least he can draw on the experience from the previous hole. Again, in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just trying to aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Given the choice, most players would rather play from the green grass versus the white sand.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and take that much more out of that fairway bunker. Couldn't reach the green. It's a smart play. Oh, solid strike. right in the heart of the green.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
And now let's go down to the action at the 4th. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Just a couple of feet. Solid par to remain 1 under. Now at the 5th here at Lighthouse Point, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
Now playing the second here at the par 4.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. In for par. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. Here we go. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Frank, all of a sudden, another player to factor in on this leaderboard.
And things are starting to tighten up right now. Going to see where the next move comes from.
Now to the 7th hole here at Lighthouse Point. Frank, we all love the shorter par 4s.
There's so many decisions to be made here at 7. If you look at the scorecard, it's not very long, but when you start to flash your driver down that right side, you'll notice that fairway gets very narrow. So the decision is really, that's the prudent play or not. From there, it's just a short iron in, and you should be looking at birdie.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Nice par to remain at 2 under. Well, a bit unusual. A third par 3 now on this front side. We're at the 8th. It's 165 yards, Frank.
And this par 3 looks nothing like the previous two. Heads towards the edge of the cliff there. Long green, almost a figure 8 or an hourglass shape. Bunkers left and right. Going to have to be straight here.
Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. It's hole's not over.
Moves into second place with that birdie. Now to the par 5 ninth. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult 3-shotter than what you were anticipating.
Second from an excellent lie. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, man, just slides by. And only a tap in left. Good putt. Just a tap in to finish the hole. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side. But, Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Excellent looking shot here. That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that. Well, that's the best that was going to be on the fringe.
Not too bad. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Did the job right there. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th. Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. And setting up here in the rough. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's a birdie. And that's a good position from which to make a weekend move. Comfortably inside the cut line, still with plenty of time left in this tournament. Back here now at the 12th hole, par 4, 439 yards. Frank, to the center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left to right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. What a turn of events. Just turned this round upside down. Started off slow, but then managed to pick up the pace and back on track now. Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Pretty good shot right there. No problem at all. Good putt and stays at 4 under par. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the two fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10? This is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again at the end of a long, long walk.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Chance to get it close here. Frank, how impressive has this round been considering the strong winds?
It's remarkable, Rich. You look at everybody else out there struggling. This has been a round to savor.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. On the way. And with that, birdie moves into a tie for the lead.
We've got ourselves a battle right now, Rich.
Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. That's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But there's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you've got to be looking at, that front left section.
Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par. Well, considering the lead that he has on the rest of the field, a par is all you need. The round continues at Lighthouse Point, and Frank, the 15th hole is a par 4, only 387 yards.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Well on the green, but far from the hole.
A little bit of a head scratcher. A lot of work coming up here.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Hard-fought par right there. Final par 3 on the backside. It's the 16th, 241 yards. Time to make a move as we are in the finishing stretch here.
When you give the scorecard a cursory look, you might think 240-something yards is a difficult hole, but this plays quite a bit downhill, so it plays more around the 200-yard mark. A fairly generous green, protected by the bunker.
This one has a chance to be close. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Racking them and stacking them right now. 6 under par for the tournament. 17th hole is another par 5, 613 yards. Frank, how do you play it?
Well, only the longest hitters can get here in 2. That's 2 big hits, that's for sure. S-shaped fairway, so if you can't reach the par 5 and 2, you can still plot your way down there for a nice little pitch, and really great opportunity to get one back off the scorecard.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway.
Second shot.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Continuing to play well. -7 now after that putt. Well, at last we're at number 18, and Frank, I have really enjoyed this golf course, and now when you see the lighthouse in the distance, it really makes it that much more special.
It is. The beacon will always take you home, and speaking of home, this finishing hole, it bends to the left. A good tee shot will somehow find the fairway and just leave you a short iron in. And of course, you make 3 here, and then that smile's going to light up like a beacon.
Final drive of the day, and makes it a good one in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.